when you're going. Do you mind pulling us up just in case on your end?
It's not up yet. Not up yet.
It's always fun because you have the preview, and then you have like that awkward seconds of hello, Nakama. Brit is back with some One Piece 1139. As always, I'm joined by the most amazing of samurai. Samurai Drew, how's it do?
Hey, going pretty well. We're going Bear Steel today for this great chapter. 1139. Break next week. First one that we've had for a while, and it's kind of a short chapter, but some dense, awesome stuff.
Is it weird that we did have like 4 chapters in a row? It feels weird to me.
Yes.
Like it feels weird.
But deserved. We deserve it as One Piece fans.
Feels weird. But deserved. There we go.
Tweet. Or X.
Tweets and X's go fine over here. I don't really mind. But with that, Samurai Drew, you want to jump into it for us?
Okay. We got
actually no, we're doing
11,
the cover page, so that's me.
Yeah. Oh good, I'll do this part. Chapter 1139. Mountain Eater. Interesting. And we see that whose blade is in fact in this panel not a knife, but a long sword. So and look at that little texture on the blade hilt. That looks a little devil fruity. I don't know if we've seen this blade before or not.
That might be the blade he stole from Yamato that was to be delivered.
There you go. But so it looks like they got knocked out. Yamato on the right.
I think that's a red herring. I think this might be a red herring because we captured a rebellious duo. I'm guessing that this is Pepe and Ulti.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. Ulti's back. Best girl. I need to see where she landed at. Top 10 best girl is back. Ulti. So I need to redo this now that Ripley's a thing. Oh my goodness, life is just.
Could they all just have a little town? Yeah. Could they just have a little town in Wano and they can all behave? All the these 3 right here. Could they all just behave?
Can they have a little town in Wano if they behave?
Yeah,
let's go with
I would like this. I would like them just to use like, okay, just behave over here. No slaves.
Yeah, even though it's who's stealing people.
Oh yeah, dang it. He's not doing great on his life outside.
No, that who's stealing who's. The who's is.
He's only stealing criminals, hopefully. No, probably not.
No, women were going missing. So.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing with Ulti's on the right, Pepe's on the left. the Dino duo is back.
Thank you.
All right. You'll take 2 and 3, okay?
All right, I'm on it. Here we go. We got Zoro. We've been looking for this key for a while now. Are we even gonna find it in this huge palace? And then we got
interesting.
And then he goes, the guards certainly don't know where it is. If anyone would know the location of the key, it would be either Chief Jarl or a few of the elders. Oh, the old sword Gramps. I wonder if he'd tell us. And he would never give it to you. Freeing Loki would be a terrible crime. And then Zoro's going, we didn't decide we were going to free him yet either. You're too strict, Zoro.
Thankfully, he says you're so strict.
Oh, you're so strict. You're so strict.
Luffy just gets me sometimes, you know. That's why Zoro's my favorite. He's the one who's like, dude, you have to pay attention.
Hey, look over here. And Nami's looking.
Damn, Nami. I mean,
yeah, no, those are drawn very well this evening.
I know. Like Luffy's hat is just drawn so well. What are you looking at?
Definitely in the center of the page. I was looking at the center of the page.
Yep, there you go.
Yes. And then we go on to the next page, right? And we go, oh, cool. Red carpet. The traces of opulence. Could that be the throne room?
So he doesn't know either.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that makes sense that he hadn't gone this far. He's like a regular.
Probably too young to really. Yeah.
And he wasn't part of the of the noble line either.
Oh no, no. If anything, he was best friends with the one who would never be able to come there, which makes sense now. That's probably why he definitely never came, even to visit.
But pardon us. Oh, jeez, it's all busted up. The scars of battle here are vicious. Even the ceiling is missing. It is the throne room. What is that strange mark? Mark? What mark? And then we see the
I've got nothing, so I've got nothing, so I'm good to go on.
On to you.
All right. Let's go on to page 4 in 3, 2, and 1. Oh, you're right. And you have oh my God. Okay. He picked them up and he's now looking up and down. So it's perfect because this is the only way they could really see this. So, oh, you're right. And Roto's has them all picked up and they're all looking down. It looks like a magic circle out of a book or something. Magic what? It's the thing they use in ritual demon summoning in other countries. Luffy saw this, so I'm hoping. What? They can call demons? Beats me. What is such a thing doing in the throne room? It's eerie. I feel like I've seen something like this lately. Huh? Straw Hat Luffy! Who's that? A demon? So someone calls Straw Hat Luffy. Who's that? A demon? It's obviously not a demon. Who is it? Is it a lost soul from beyond the grave come to haunt us? Alright, I'm going on.
Yes.
I've been hoping to meet you. Okay. Rest spirit of the dead. And this is Roto, who's literally losing his mind. Resist, spirit of the dead. Whoa, who is that? Show yourself. Are you a demon summoned to this place? I just knew this castle was haunted. We must flee before the ghost haunts us too. Wait, Roto, don't run. And then here comes an axe. Oh, here's Daddy. Here, so the axe is coming flying in. It cuts off Roto. Ah, whoa, eek. Eek, don't drop us. Okay. And Nami is yelling, don't drop us. I think she's the only one who fell. Something else fell next to her, but I'm not sure what. Oh, that's...
It's all three of them. I think everyone went tumbling. We got Nami, Luffy, and Zoro all tumbling out of his hands, so they're all falling away.
Yeah, I just didn't realize it was Nami that was the furthest highest up, and then Zoro, and then Luffy is the furthest down. So I'm guessing here's Daddy, so Samurai Drew, it's up to you.
Okay.
There he is.
Oh, it's Mr. Ya! Interesting. Wow. Woo, thanks. Someone's on the chair. Forgive me, Ultra Rare Nami. I'm gonna smack you. And, so Zoro caught Nami in time.
Yeah,
that's good. Not as good of a catch as from a giant, probably. And we see a little silhouette here, and then it folds up into, hey, here's the guy that met Crocus all those chapters ago, and who we've been seeing little glimpses of. It's Sir Ya. But why are you here? And we got human, former pirate living in Elbaf, Mr. Ya. Oh, of course, and you remember him, right?
Yeah, right. This is definitely Scopper. Like, this isn't Shiki, this is Scopper.
No, I know. I was like, okay, but
because
I'm pretty
sure he used to say "ya" after a lot of what he said. Or I guess that's probably done.
I felt some very abnormal hockey coming from the castle earlier. It seems to have left, but now I find you here instead. I've heard stories about you, Straw Hat Luffy, including that you took care of Kaido. Boy, I'd love to go traveling around Wano again. And yeah, I like that. I like his facial design as an old man here.
Oh yeah.
I'll keep on going.
Wano again though, which means the Roger Pirates did get off the ship.
Yeah, they showed all that meeting Odin, and then that's when Odin begged to come on their crew. That's
I don't know if
where they got the rubbing for the poneglyph too.
They didn't. The Roger Pirates didn't get off the ship when they got to Wano because Odin.
Is that true?
Yeah, because Odin didn't want to turn around because of what was happening.
Yeah, but where were they? But didn't they go there originally to pick up Odin?
No, Odin was with them. They were close by. Toki got sick. They dropped them off. That's when...
they're on a different island.
Maybe.
Okay, let's dive into that.
Yeah.
At the end.
So, you've got one more.
I got one more. Sir Ya. He goes by Sir Ya in Elbaf. You went by the school, correct? Did you not meet the teacher named Ripley there? He is her husband. Oh, so you're the dad of that giant shrimp. Giant shrimp? Yeah, guess I am. So you met Colin and Ripley, eh? He took on a lot of the giant's blood. He grew up without me being able to hold him in my arms. Would you believe that he's 20? No, I wouldn't. That's insane. And Ripley is 80. She's older than me. Let me tell ya.
It's 3 years, right?
Oh, well, yeah.
So he's like 6.5. Yeah, he's like 6.5.
I see. Let me tell ya. Marrying a giant's not worth it. I get older, they stay the same age. That sounds like a Matthew McConaughey line. That's a good point. I'm just surprised to hear that someone's actually done it. We are too, Nami. We are too.
Hey, girl, don't ask questions because you might not need to know the answer.
The answer's love.
You may not be ready. You may not be flexible enough for the answer. What?
Lord.
All right. Anyway, going on. Any thoughts? Or yeah, we're already halfway through. Wow. Or we can go on.
Keep it going. We can, because there's some stuff that we're gonna have to look up, aren't there?
There's gonna be a lot of stuff we look up. Love is free as he jumps down. There are many mixed blood races throughout history. The Buccaneers. He just had to say it. Buccaneers are mixed race. The Dosundada. Okay, so we know about a new one. The long arms, the long legs, and the Wotans. These blended people don't tend to last long, but in every era, there have always been those who are more open-minded. Ah. You seem to know a whole lot. Who are you anyway? I'm the preacher of love. He's just like Sanji. Haha. Sounds like what Sanji will be when he gets older. That's funny. Anyway, I'm searching for I'm searching for the key cuffs to Loki's. I'm searching for the keys to Loki's cuffs. Don't just tell him about it, and he wouldn't know anyway. Oh, forget I said that. Too late. Loki, eh? So Luffy put his foot in his mouth.
He can sense these things, though. There's gotta be like some kind of sixth sense that he has that he can be honest with some people.
That or he's just super naive. Super naive. But alright, I think that's all for me.
No, you got one more.
Yep. Okay. Going on. Fascinating. If there's one if there's one thing I love, it's other piece. Oh god. Oh god, no. No. He is the ultimate pusher of buttons. Oh no. Oh no. Fascinating. If there's one thing I love, it's other people causing trouble. That's really tacky. You better not tell anybody about this. Young lady, secrets are born to spread. No, stop that right now. Do you know what kind of man Loki is? If the worst should happen because of this, what's your plan? I'll beat him up and put the chains back on him. Years ago, a man named Red-Haired Shanks captured Loki. But prior to that, no one was ever able to stop him. Oh, what's he gonna say? We've got a few more pages. Samurai Drew is going to set us up, and I will bring us home.
Exactly. Okay. Here's my last one, then. If you don't know what kind of power Loki has or what damage he might do... Hey, wait! Oh, I have something to say after I get done with this. Let's go look for the key I think he's gonna be yapping
We were
for a
literally
while.
about to find out about the powers.
Yeah. Oh, you're wasting our time. He's giving us a warning. You should listen to him. I'm sorry, sir. Yeah. They're just
And he's just smiling.
And he's remembering back to a day with Roger and him and Rayleigh. I'm sick of all your warnings. Are you afraid? I didn't say that. If you want to stop me, you'll have to do it by force. I'm telling you to be aware of the risks, idiot Roger. Hey, Roto, go up to the throne and push it. Huh? And before I go to the next page, I just want to talk about how Oda does this thing with time in his panels where time goes forward as he's drawing. So you can just imagine that, like, at first they were looking at him, and as you go to the left, they're now walking away from him. So anyway, it's just good drawing there, basically. Good paneling. Anyway.
Idiot Roger.
Love that. So
that's amazing.
So a lot of Sanji references.
Dude, from the chicks to the responsibility, it's like. But that's the fun part, because he is now enjoying, because he spent so much time as that person back when he was younger. He's like, I love people like you. What trouble can you make? That's pretty fun, because he knows there's an equivalent to him who's gonna come in and be like, oh shit, now I got to clean this all up.
All right, one more.
All right.
And then we go over to the party. In the old Pirate King's crew, there were two others who were especially strong, aside from Roger himself. Oh yeah? I'm guessing it's Rayleigh and someone else? That's right. One time, Roger, the captain, needed to rest and heal. So he and this other fellow went to a hospital in the mountains. Unfortunately, it was surrounded by a bunch of enemy pirates. But this fellow went out on his own and took down hundreds of enemies with just his 2 axes. By himself? With 2 axes? But there's more. In the place where he fought, there was only the bald mountainside left behind, but not a single tree standing. What? That seems a little excessive. And then as the crew settles down for the story, and because of that, he gained the epithet of Mountain Eater. It's a story it's a well-known story. After the first mate's Silver Rayleigh, this man was known as the Pirate King's left arm. Okay.
Daddy's home.
Breaking it down. Everyone's getting little stories. Like, we got stories in the library, stories in the castle. Like, this is like all of the Straw Hats are getting their own little lore dump. And so when they combine, then they're gonna be able to know what's going on, really.
Yeah. Like, I'm glad Shiki uses such distinct weapons, like knives. We've already seen the axes with Scopper, so here we go. Of course, it completely cuts back, which is interesting. A hidden room, a treasure chamber. I love for you, Mr. Ya. Treasure? Treasure. How did you know about this, Sir Ya? Exploring's my thing. Whoa! A treasure chest room. They're all empty. Yeah, but it was a treasure room. You lied to me. And Nami might just hurt him. But look! Oh, a key. Here's something no burglar would care to take. I'm guessing that's the key. So here's something no burglar would care to take. I'm guessing that's the key to Loki's stuff. So I'm gonna go on to the final page in 3, 2, 1. Oh, don't blame me. It's an abandoned castle, the perfect target for burglars. And then Luffy's like, yes! In other words, releasing Loki is something even the wicked dare not do. So will you still take this key? And Luffy's like, huh? What? He's here? He's here? What? Yes, he's here. He's been living in Elbaf for over 20 years. Really? A legendary figure who stood shoulder to shoulder with Rogers and Rayleigh. The left arm of the Pirate King. Scopper Gaban. Then take it from me. If you can. Okay. So he is going to test Luffy's mettle.
Let's go.
I think it is time for a sip and discuss. I chose to kick him butt. I did not realize he was going to square off against Luffy.
Yo. Well, he didn't even square up against Rayleigh. Like, Rayleigh and him, you know, he just trained him, but I don't think he ever went up against him.
No, and that's why I'm like, is this... How is this... I don't know how this is going to go, because without Gear 5, no way. It's Zoro and Luffy. With Gear 5, it's just Luffy. Thoughts?
Okay, he's gonna go Gear 5 for show, because wonder it's no, Scopper Gaban, you don't think he has a devil fruit, right? Like, that's why, like, Shanks doesn't have a devil fruit, is because
I don't know.
Rogers' crew maybe didn't, but I kind of would like it if Scopper Gaban didn't have a devil fruit, but what could he teach Luffy that, you know, Raleigh was the mastery of all three hockeys. You know, he was really well-rounded. But Sanji is more of a, you know, lopsided case where, you know, he doesn't have the conquerors, but he has the other two down. So it'd be interesting if Scopper Gaban, either Luffy kicks his butt or he teaches him something. So I'm hoping he has a devil fruit and he teaches him more about his awakening, because you know how his awakening drains the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always like a raisin. So that's why it'd be fun if he showed him that. What did you have an idea better than that?
No, I like how it plays in. So
But yeah. So Scopper Gaban, right? First he's hanging out with Crocus. So he's a traveler. So, you know, he's been to Wano, he's been here, there. So I wonder if he has more, babies in other islands.
That's one. Column is 20, meaning that he was born. Oh, what's the time? Roger was 22 years ago? He was 22 years ago, because Ace was 20. And he was born 2 years after Roger died. So Scopper went and had a baby 2 years after the execution. He didn't just end up in Elbaf. It took him 2 years to get there. Then he got him a Santi giant mistress of 20. She was 60. So yeah, she was 30 then. Look at it that way. Because she's 80 now, so she's 60. Yeah, she was 30 when she had Colin. No, she's holding it up together. Yeah. Ripley's like 35, 36, 37. Somewhere in there. It's like, okay, Ripley. Okay, girl. So, there's that. I take it. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
They would have been like similar aging when they first met then. They were both like looking about the same age.
Mm-hmm. So, let's take a look. Scopper.
Yeah, I was just looking at. And you know what else I was looking at? We've met all the major Roger pirates. Like everyone else, they're kind of like, okay, do you really want to meet, you know, Seagull Guns?
Seagull Guns.
Sunbelt? Can I get a Sunbelt, anybody? Or a Ganru? Peter Moo? Like, we actually do have a bunch of them, but no one that we've seen before in the story, really. So that would be a Sunbelt. Like, that's so funny.
Well, here's the fun part, because Luffy doesn't know who he is yet. So it's going to be even more impressive when Luffy's like, what? You were on Roger's crew? You're really strong, old man.
he's gonna be like, you know Rayleigh, because he has a lot of respect for Rayleigh.
Oh yeah. So that's gonna be the interesting part is who tells Luffy he's that person, and how does he interpret both someone who's the third in command on Shanks's on Roger's crew, but also is the counterpart to Rayleigh, who can probably teach him a lot of other things, just similar to Rayleigh. Because here's the thing, Rayleigh can't be silly. Like, he has just been very, very silly in the last few chapters, last few pages. I am the man of love, and I spread the word of love. Could never see Rayleigh saying that, honestly. What about you?
Well, Rayleigh, yeah, he's definitely more serious. But he has a playful side, but he's like cool. He's like Zoro. They're mirrors. He plays it cool. He's like, I'm cool all the time. He's more like, old man cool though. Zoro's like, new cool.
Like, this kind of gives a way more credence to all of the Sanji and Zoro are gonna have in-game waifus. Gives a lot of credence because Scopper has a giant Ripley. I've loved both. I love that upon meeting her, I have always fallen madly in love with whoever is dating like one of the top 3 of Roger's crew. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, this is for me. If you're dating a member
of the band, you're cool.
No, like when I first met Shocky, I had to stop for a second because I was starting to overheat. Shocky's bad. Shocky is bad, and Ripley is on a similar level. What's up?
And then Crocus has his whale.
Stop.
Everyone's like retiring with these beauties or whatever.
Oh man, and Crocus has his whale.
He's like inside of it all day. Like,
I mean, they're both inside of their loves now that they've left the Roger crew.
That was funny.
Oh, that was so funny.
But I mean, unless Crocus left a lover somewhere else, I doubt it. He's a doctor. I don't know. No, doctors, come on. Ladies would love a doctor.
Yeah.
But maybe not.
Who knows? Well, they may have come through, fixed their shit, fallen in love. And then he's like, I have to stay here for the whale. And she's like, which one are you talking about? And he's like, oh, I'm just give him that look. And everyone's like, ooh. Because it was a dick joke. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. Where does your heart land? Does Scopper have a devil fruit?
Ooh, that can be our question of the day too.
I couldn't even try to guess what it would be. It would be. I mean, there wasn't even a. It sounds like he's a hockey user because of the way that they were talking about how he used the 2 axes on the mountain, and then he cut one of them out. That means he's sufficient with, hockey mastery to imbue it inside of his axes and then create a whatever they call that slicing air thing.
I like how Jinbei knows who he is, and he's just like, Copper.
This story is well known to me. He's like, yeah, I've heard this one before. Oh yeah, Jinbei probably does know some lore. He probably, he's probably excited for other, Roger pirates that appear in One Piece.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, of all the crew, it would be Jinbei and maybe Robin, who are like, Nani? He's here. Granted, Usopp is screaming that he's here, but it's not necessarily like. What's the best way of putting it? It's not necessarily screaming it in a way that he knows of the individual in his exploits personally. It's more of an ad hoc, Legends here, kind of like the Rayleigh moment. Who has a better introduction? Rayleigh in the auction house. It was Rayleigh in the auction house, or
But I mean, this guy does have a cool, lengthy, thing. I think we're gonna see him at his best sooner than we saw Rayleigh. Like, we saw bits of Rayleigh, and then we got to see him at his best. But I think this time we're gonna be like, boom.
Yeah.
But you're right, yeah. He did tease him, but he only teased him for a few. Oh, he did draw him that one little silhouette. Like, what was that, 6 chapters ago?
For Scopper? Well, it was the bring it on the coast, and then he was like shuffling through. Again, I saw the image, and it was like it was either Shiki or Scopper. Like, it's one of the two. Ain't no one else can tame a giant like that. So I'm over here the mindset trying to understand. Okay, it's Scopper. What do we get from him? I had no idea, none, that he was about to square up a Luffy, and I don't know how this is gonna end.
What I would love is if Sanji got off his butt wherever he is, and he fought Scopper in Luffy's place.
Well,
That'd be cool.
Or do you think it's gonna be Zoro then?
No, it's gonna be Luffy, because what Oda wants to show us, how strong this Gaban guy is. He wants to be like, this guy can compete with Luffy at Gear 5. We've seen, the Gorosei compete with Luffy at Gear 5, so we know that this guy's like totally badass. I don't see Gaban losing.
And that's kind of where I'm at, because if he loses, is he strong? How strong is Shanks in comparison to Gaban? Because we're gonna have to have that conversation. Kaido, it was a death of 1,000 fighters. I'm sorry, it wasn't a 1v1 from the start. A lot of stuff happened to him.
I just thought of Luffy's biggest weakness is cutting, and Scopper's got the damn axe, so he's
using a key.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
he's using a key as an axe, so Luffy is going to have to get the key away from him while literally getting the living tar beat out of him with the damn key from probably a hockey user. So it's going to hurt him getting like smashed.
The key cut. He's gonna be freaking.
If he pulls out a divine departure, I'm gonna start screaming.
Kingdom Hearts? Is that from Kingdom Hearts?
No, that's Roger's move.
Oh.
That's Roger's move. That's also the first move that we saw Shanks use. Like, we've never, ever seen Rayleigh use a move. So I don't know if Rayleigh's out here like divine departure.
They could be like, love bash. No, I don't know what he's gonna say.
So, as someone who enjoys Sanji as a fan, are Sanji fans using this as a way to put Sanji as a strong as Luffy category? Because stand on the same level, yeah, Rayleigh and Roger are like separated, but there can't be this difference between Scopper, Rayleigh, and Roger. So I'm like, where do they land? Rayleigh literally said if he went all out, he wouldn't be able to take out Blackbeard. So we've gotten that confirmation.
Or scaling right there. That's a good point.
Like, there's so much to be able to say. How does he square up against Shanks? We already know that the kid that Evil Shanks is now coming after, it has to be Column. It just makes no other sense if they kidnap any other child. Even though he's fucking 20.
Yeah, he's like, he should have left the house.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because he's 20, but he's like 6.33. He's like 6 years and 3 months old or something like that. So it makes a lot of sense on how he acts. When he first met Luffy, he just squared up. Scopper told Column a lot about... No. Scopper didn't actually. No, the other Shanks is who told Column about Luffy. Okay. I almost went on a completely wild tangent that wasn't even relevant, so I'm glad I got off that.
And also, it sounds like Shanks and Gaban kind of have somewhat of a communication going on. Because they're on the same island, they're talking to,
you would think that they had chatted. He's
'Cause,
been
yeah.
there the last 20 years. It's now part of Shanks' territory.
But you don't get the sense that Rayleigh's talking to Shanks, do you? Let me see if there's any instances.
If Rayleigh and Shanks met up at Sabbaty, yes. Which is what we did see when he did go to Sabbaty. But he doesn't own Sabbaty. Shanks owns Elbaf. So I think that's also a very big difference.
12 years ago, after Shanks saved Luffy, Shanks reunited with Rayleigh at Saba de Odi Archipelago and told him about a boy he met in the East Blue. He's like, "Oh, I heard about you." So they met then.
But that's also when they're like, we're heading back to the seas, blah, 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 blah. So that was also when they left the East Blue, quote unquote, for good. Who knows whose baby that is with Makino. So we don't know. He could have been back through. He could have not. Shanks is everywhere, especially now that we know that he like targeted the marine ship to get the Gomu Gomu no Mi. Like there's so many questions, and now that he has an evil twin, and everyone's like the hot brother, and I was just like, are you saying Shanks isn't? Is the internet now saying Shanks isn't hot anymore, and he just has the hot brother?
I don't know. Yeah, actually, you know what? At least the one brother, probably takes more showers or something. Shanks isn't showering every day like me.
Oh, that's so. After a fiance. Don't let him fool you, y'all. That choice is after a fiance.
Well, sometimes I do skip a day.
Yeah, until she calls you out on it. Again, after a fiance. I remember making those decisions making decisions when a woman lived with me. Yeah, that was really easy to choose that. But fun chapter. Again, knew it was Scopper from everyone's highlights. It was one of two people. It was Shanks. Sorry, it was Shiki, Scopper, or a mystery person. Glad it's Scopper. Glad that Luffy sees the connections between him and Sanji. Again, I was never really invested in Endgame for Zoro or Zoro or Sanji, but now that I see this, and you have Rayleigh with arguably one of the best girls in Shaki and Sabbaty, and then you have Scopper with arguably one of the best girls in Elbaf. It's just like, I mean, you got Puddin' and you got Komurasaki Hiyori. Like, I just don't know how better off that's set up for Endgame. And that leaves Sanji to leave Nami alone while her and Chopper just travel. So, interesting outcomes. We've got 2 weeks left, so everyone's going to be power scaling. That's what I'm predicting is like power scaling galore in the community. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no! I just remembered that we were gonna look up for that sword. That sword. The sword in the cover page is definitely the one that they were tasked to give it around. So they've definitely captured their sword.
Yeah. So the person who robbed them in the night, it wasn't. Hold'em was working for Who's Who, and they tracked them to that space. Speaking of power leveling, Tama beat Hold'em. Who is Hold'em stronger than? Because Hold'em, I would say Hold'em could beat Arlong. I would say that Hold'em could probably beat Buggy. Who in the East Blue would beat Hold'em? Would definitely wipe Don Krieg.
Whoa, stop. No. I think all these Buggy could beat Hold'em, I think. And I also don't like the fact that you're saying that Arlong would be folded by. There's no way. I think Arlong would outbox him in a second.
Okay.
Oh, come by the water. And then Buggy would like blow him up. And put a bomb in his.
A buggy ball?
Lion mouth, yeah.
Maybe.
Now, Kuro? See ya.
Yeah, so there's one that Tama wipes.
Yeah, so Kuro. So yeah, Tama could, in One Piece power scaling, be Kuro.
What about Don Krieg?
Now that's an interesting one. Yeah, Don Krieg was like a glass cannon, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because he was like, yeah, just like, what makes a pirate? A bunch of weapons? No. So that was like one of the little Oda lessons.
Okay, so Tama can beat 2 out of the, what is that, the 4 baddies in East Blue. Can she beat Alvida?
Oh.
Really?
Alvida? Alvida's kind of good. She can put a whooping on if she wanted to.
Okay.
I've never seen her lose.
Except to Luffy when we first met her.
Yeah, honestly, that's the only time. Now I mean, he would just hit her and then she'd like slide off. But now it's hockey. But
all right, so 2 of the 5 baddies of One Piece. Alvida loses.
Yeah. Oh man, I'd like to see the fight though.
Alvida Tama loses. Alvida Buggy wins.
Yeah.
Alvida, so it went Orangetown, Syrup Village. She beats what's his face? What's the kid's name? You just said it.
Oh. Captain Kuro?
Yeah, she beats Captain Kuro. Then we go to Sanji's space. She beats Don Krieg. That's what I'm calling. So she.
No way.
I'm saying that she'll beat Don Krieg. So Tama loses to Arlong and Buggy.
You know, I agree with you. Sorry, I do agree with you.
Okay. See, Luffy agrees too. There you go.
Yeah, I know. He's going a little crazy.
All right, so let's see here. It's been, just want to take a look at the time just to make sure. It's been 42 minutes. We can go for another 15 minutes if you like. Especially because we won't have a chapter for the next week, but we already know it's just going to be power scaling. Power scaling. We already did Luffy and Scopper power scaling. We already did Tama power scaling. Are there any other power scaling?
Yes. Stocks went down today on Jinbei because he is not in the top 3. You know, Sanji is definitely the one that's the third, the left hand.
So we think Sanji is still the left. Oh, I mean, they said as much during the raid on Onigashima. So he can still be his left hand, but just not, you know, part of the monster trio. It's a monster quartet, and if it is and if it's based off bounties, sorry, Zoros is bigger. So 4th place is always going to be 4th place. I just love that he really was telling Roger to like, hey, just think about the consequences. And now he's like, I love that you don't think about the consequences, but you gotta earn it. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting. Is that what you're getting?
Yeah, well, I wonder but maybe there was some obvious wisdom in what Scopper was probably saying back then, because obviously Roger did some things wrong, you know, because he probably could have ended it a lot sooner, maybe. Who knows? We gotta figure out what's on the line.
Like, you know that he was probably the one who was kicking himself the most when Roger got sick. And Roger's like, dude, you couldn't do anything about it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm interested. He's not the doctor because they got Crocus. Do we think that he is a cook?
Yeah, I hope not, just because I just want something to be different.
I do too. What are our thoughts to his role on the crew? I mean, if he's walking around spreading love, he could be the musician. Musician. Yeah, he could be the musician. I mean, giants get a little weak leg for someone who plays the violin. I mean,
I could see that. Okay, I could see that.
Yeah, I don't want it to be the cook. I don't think we. Oh no, that's Shanks's crew and his doctor. So I don't know. We haven't seen Rogers like cook, helmsman, all of those things.
Obviously, bell bottom.
Shipwright. He could be a shipwright. He does. He has a shipwright.
Raleigh seemed like more the shipwright because he was doing the painting.
Who?
Raleigh.
Okay.
But I mean, hey, you know what? I like it. I don't mind. No, what my mind's at right now, though. What do you think? Okay, he's like, I'm sick of all your warnings. I'm telling you to be aware of the risks, Roger. What do you think they're talking about? Because what has this, you know, like, is this what got
It's not Roger. It's stupid Roger.
Sorry, idiot Roger.
Idiot Roger. So does Sanji call Luffy Idiot Luffy? Because I know Zoro calls him Idiot Monkey sometimes.
But what in particular event are they talking about? So is this what got?
Could it be God Valley?
Oh, I'm telling you to beware of the risks. I wonder what the risks are, and what are the like they're like, if you do this, this will happen. So maybe it is God Valley. I do like that.
Oh, if my understanding was a big a big conversation about just not jumping in, you know, like Luffy does, which is why I just again love the fact that his place on the crew, and that kind of feels very familiar for me where I'm going through, like at Western and in my prior life and jobs, I was like the very structure person. Hey, don't cause ruckus, and now I'm like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? How you gonna do that? So I very much vibe with the, you know what? You have to think about it to fuck it. But yeah, you gotta earn it. Because he even said no one could match Loki, except Shanks when Shanks went out and caught him. I'm interested if Scopper left because Loki was there, because Loki's been there, again, for 20 years. So if there's any reason to run, it would be the guy who is, or was, making babies with giants. I mean, the third hand of the Roger crew. So, like, where does that land?
And it kind of tells you that there wasn't, like, we're not like, oh, and then the legendary fourth and fifth person, like, just the three. We can just focus on our boys here.
We have our big three. Again,
Jinbei, take a seat. You're not needed for this section of the story.
But at the same time, especially because we're doing the comparison, Sanji is I love Roronoa. He is my second favorite character in all of One Piece. Will not be overtaken. Will not ever happen. He is a very straightforward character. Like, you're not gonna, the kind of comedy you're gonna get out of him is very one way. It's not gonna be very dynamic. He's not gonna be all lovey-dovey. Is he gonna lay pipe with Hiyori? Probably already did. I don't even know. We don't know what she was doing to him when she was undressing and cleaning him, so there's also that. So there's a lot of things in that area where I'm even just like, yeah, I definitely see that for Zoro. He is sword sexual. He is sword sexual, but I don't know.
And Sanji gets the kisses. He's got 2 kisses so far.
I'm definitely team.
Sanji's gotten a little bit of play.
Oh, but Sanji's actually trying.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, come on. You know as well as anybody. The more you try, the harder. Yeah, the more that
opportunities you get. That's all it is.
Oh, baby.
It doesn't mean that you get more. Doesn't mean that you get more. It just means you get more opportunities to strike out.
I would say the opposite. Like, for the people that didn't try, some of the guys I saw in high school that didn't try, maybe they would be the ones to be like, woo! The boys that don't try.
That's fair. But it's also, to Scopper's point, what are you going to do after it? I mean, I'll beat him up and put him back on. He's just like, now you've got to prove that you're strong enough to me to do that. So, I like Scopper a lot. There were some Odin traveling intrigues. Like when we first met Odin, Scopper and Rayleigh were about to square up, and that's when Roger ran by them, and they're like, oh, you just want to fight him. So they were strong enough to sense Odin and be like, okay, square up. So I'd say they're also stronger than Odin. Odin and Scopper were one-on-oneing, but that was only anime only. During the great pirate battle between Whitebeard and Roger, when they met on that island, so that lasted for 3 days. So it's very interesting Like if Odin squared up with Rayleigh during that time, or if it was just a scopper. So we know that Odin was like as strong as the third on their crew, which they probably had someone stronger than Scopper, but as far as the nucleus of the crew, he was more important. Like Sanji, Jinbei's stronger than Sanji. I'm sorry, Sanji fans.
No. No. Put down. I put it down.
Jinbei is definitely.
Jinbei stocks are so down right now.
I'm going Jinbei stronger than Sanji.
Who?
I'll say it. But I'll also say that it's a very close three-way race. But
hey, Wano, who got the bigger opponent? Who got the bigger opponent in Wano?
That's fair. That's fair. However, keep in mind that the opponent that Sanji got was also the opponent that Jinbei's opponent was trying to take over their role and was actively trying to murder throughout the entire thing. So if we're making a connection to how close they were, probably pretty close. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. No, Sanji versus Jinbei on dry land and a desert.
I mean, desert. It's not even neutral at that point. I would say just dry land.
I want to like really put the brakes on Jinbei. So like if he was in the desert, you know that he'd have a tough time fishing around.
All I know is his Fishman Karate would be able to hit Sanji from the inside because Sanji has basically Teflon skin now. We just continued walking by that in so many different instances.
What do you mean?
That Sanji now has Teflon skin and his body is basically a Vinsmoke super soldier now, without even having to be like, turn it on. No, he's a superhuman now. We never actually talked that Sanji's a superhuman now.
Like, was it like aware of, like, has this been like slowly turning on throughout the whole series, or do you think it just like fully, like it was off and then totally on during Wano?
Oh, again, with how his body contorted to, he was hurt seriously in prior things with like broken bones and things like that. He can't have broken bones anymore. I think that's the big thing. Like Queen crushed his body. So like moving forward, Sanji is literally like bang, 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 knocking things in place, except for internal organs. Remember Ace. You can train your outsides, but it's your insides. And I'm sorry, Jinbei's Fishman Karate attacks the water inside you. So that's another reason why I'm like Jinbei over, but just we don't have to go there. We don't have to go there.
Okay. Sanji applies heat right where Akainu struck Jinbei when he was escaping with Luffy. Boom, right in the sore spot.
If you want to go that route, yeah, definitely. Or Jinbei just like calls a mermaid and Sanji's dead. So do we really want to play that game?
Oh, we're using trickery now.
You literally just said if he's hitting him in the weak spot. I consider hitting in the weak spot trickery. Because it is a dishonest practice. The Scopper Caban have a double. Yeah, how about we end out with that, because we've already been going for 53 minutes. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. Don't forget to vote, Samurai, and anyone watching back. Yeah, now
this is a nail biter.
It'll be a nail biter for the next 7 to 10 minutes. But as far as does he have a devil fruit? Where does his strength come? Does the strength come from devil fruit or just raw riz?
Just having the One Piece or whatever he said that it wasn't his time for. Does that require being a One Piece or being a devil fruit user? And also, why doesn't Rayleigh's entire team use the devil fruit abilities?
That could be true. It's also that it could be that certain fruit though, the Gomu Gomu no Mi, because that fruit is what can do whatever Joy Boy needed to do and was so funny. Because Luffy can augment things around him, he can do all that kind of stuff. So That's kind of where my mind is.
And then, Shanks, if Luffy ever dies, all he needs to do is grab that devil fruit again and give it to, hold on, grab it. My other Luffy's being naughty.
I like how you how you said Luffy, and he's just like, oh, that's my turn to cue to do something.
Eat my shoe.
Eat my shorts. Let's see here. Yeah. Any other thoughts as far as, I'm guessing that it's Ulti and page 1 who have shown up. That is kind of that is who's here. Any other thoughts, or are you in accordance too? Or did you freeze? I think you may have frozen. So while Samurai Drew is trying to come back, let's see here. I'm gonna jump back into the chapter and do a little speculation until, yeah. Still sucks that we do have 14 days. Luffy doesn't recognize the magical circle. That's a little interesting. I think it's as frustrating as the Lunarian reveal for Zoro. I don't know if it's a 1-to-1.
At least Zoro, can you hear me okay now? At least Zoro can remember it.
Yeah.
He was like, oh yeah, just like him. Then I think Zoro did say something like that. And then Luffy said, hey, I think I remember something like that. So they both, have acknowledged it.
They've both acknowledged it. He's like, I've seen it before, but then it was like, oh yeah. So unfortunately, it's gonna be oh yeah, and then everyone's gonna be like, say that sooner. Oh, it's okay. You couldn't have figured out. And then it's going to be, it had this, it's a triangle, it's black, it's a square, blah blah blah, and it's just gonna be like, why didn't you say so sooner? So it's gonna be similar in that format, but yeah, to your point, I don't think it's not necessarily 1-to-1, but it's very similar. Very similar.
It seems like the artifact has to stay there while they're being transmitted, and then when they zap back to the palace, then it probably disappears maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially if it's like Emu's used it to send. But speaking of that, we can tie it back to God's Knights. I am calling, I guess is the best way of doing it. I'm calling that Column is going to be the child that is taken. That, or he is going to get taken trying to defend another child. I think that's probably more likely. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Column gets taken trying to save another baby. Any thoughts on your end?
I am excited to see it. How fast does Luffy turn on Gear 5 fighting Scott for Goodbye?
I think he's going straight in. I think he's going straight in.
I mean, he hits him with a hockey blast or something.
I mean, that would be cool if there was like a hockey standoff. I would definitely vibe with that, but yeah, it's one of those where I'm very interested in how this is going to play out from here on.
One fan theory has always been that Scopper was going to train Luffy, and then we're going to get another time skip.
I mean, there always could be a time skip in Elbaf. It's quote-unquote isolated. Not as much as Wado, but still is. Taking a look. I'm going to go ahead and call the poll. We're at 59 minutes. Oh, wow. We're at the hour. So I'm going to go ahead and call the poll. With 60% of the votes, Scopper Gavon, the community says, does not have a devil fruit. So Scopper Gavon does not have a devil fruit. It's too on the nose to put Scopper, even a young Scopper, as the thumb. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Scopper as the thumbnail?
Oh yeah, or just like the, because the word's out. The word's out. You know, like the panel where he's with Crocus? That might be a good one.
Oh yeah, the cover page.
Yeah, that might be a good little ditty.
Yeah, so that, I mean, that would be the one to use when he's showing that he's old. Everything else would be him with his gorgeous blue hair hanging over his back. I like that the ladies' men have their eyes covered in some way. He's got his glasses to woo them, and Sanji's got his little eye flip, like eye cover.
Oh, and the man bun for the win.
And the man bun. Is it a man bun? Is it behind?
No, it's not. Sorry, it's a ponytail. I was looking at it.
It's like, how dare you demasculate that? It is a ponytail. Thank you very much. Yeah, Ripley's been braiding that for years.
Yeah, him and Ripley have the same coat.
They're also the same. They're probably around the same age as like 80, but again, I don't know. I would consider. How old is Rayleigh?
I thought 76. Oh, Rayleigh?
Yeah.
Under 80.
Oh, does it say under 80 on the wiki?
On Scoppergabon. For Rayleigh, it's 78 after time. So right now he's 78.
Yeah, I think Scopper is in that 78, 79 time frame. So yeah, I'll go 70. I'll go 79 just to make that a little bit closer. Or damn it, I'll just go with 80 just because he is more angry that Ripley is aging faster, way faster than he is, kind of thing. Or slower. He's aging way faster than they are, which sucks if he truly loves them, which I think he has to. Which is again, if Column is quote unquote taken, or his part is taken trying to save other children, I mean, we got Scopper along with us. So. Any thoughts on next chapter? We've got 2 weeks off to enjoy everyone power scaling and arguing with each other. Any thoughts on where we're going, how we're heading?
I mean, we got to see that fight, and then we got to see where the God's Knights are heading off to, and if what part of the Straw Hats are gonna be first to see those fools? Is Luffy gonna be the first to see him, or
it's probably gonna be not. It's probably gonna be Robin and Chopper, who are at the Owl Library. Fukunoshu Tashaka.
They're gonna steal Robin.
I mean, there's gonna be beef. Robin's gonna know who the hell they are, and also like Luffy would never call them a liar. If they're like, he looked like Shanks, Luffy's gonna be like, oh, has to be his brother. Shanks would never do that. Also the familiar Honky kind of thing. So there's that.
Like cool character reveals.
Yeah. So Luffy is going. If Luffy is gonna fight this, do we also think Luffy is gonna be fighting Shamrock?
But I would rather have someone with a sword fight Shamrock, or like the whole crew fight Shamrock.
So Zoro.
Zoro would be good, but Sanji needs maybe Sanji and Zoro and Luffy all team up and whoop them up.
Well, Sanji's definitely not going to be a part against the fight against Gunzo, unless Gunzo is like a dude. Like they could just be a trap. We don't know the gender. That could just be a trap right there. So
there's no way Oda would do that.
You're joking, right? You've met Okiku, right?
Oh shit.
Hell, Yamato had us going through that for a while. Hell, no, he wasn't a trap. I'm just proud of the community when everyone was like, "Oh my God, King's hot," just simultaneously. So it wasn't necessarily a trap, but everyone was just like, "Oh man, he's hot," especially for a One Piece character. Yeah, I don't see any surprises or new characters coming out or like reveals as far as like who people jump on. I think Scopper is going to become a really cool character. He's going to join in the Straw Hats as they defend the giant babies from them trying to be captured, because the God's Knights are going to take over Elbath, and this isn't going to go away anytime soon. So for incoming class with God's Knights, they did say they're bringing someone else in. So they did say they need a third. So there goes your Sanji matchup.
Okay, I'll take that. But,
and it'll be interesting to see if Loki scores up with us first, if he scores up only with them. Grand Line Review has been throwing out a lot of, it's not even subtleties at this point. He's literally calling out the fact that since all we hear is such bad things about Loki, and we don't know the true story of the fight between him and King Harold, like, I am giving like that 10% chance that he showed up as the God's Knights had showed up, fought them all off with after they had killed all 100 of these warriors.
And he got the pin. He got pinned for it.
He got pinned for it, especially because after Jarul got that thing stuck in his head, there was really no pulling it out, I guess. I don't know. So I guess that's another way of viewing it. So
Knife saved his life. So
he does keep saying
that. There's something to that, and I believe him.
Almost like when everything was over, he woke up. Loki's like, that knife saved your life, old man. Otherwise, I would have killed you. And then he runs off. Like, I see that as far as a real life instance that happened. And so, because they're the only ones who survived that incident. Like, the only ones. So, we've gone over an hour. Any final thoughts?
No.
This has been a very fun chapter. Huge thank you to Samurai for going a little bit off-road and having it on a Monday. I know it ended up you getting spoiled, but I'm glad that you were able to let me in. Normally it ends up with him wrapping up and we get his crazy shock face, but since he already knows that Scopper was going to square up with Luffy, you got to see me just being like, oh, Luffy-kun. So
I believe that was Crocus the first time I saw that one image of him. Or sorry, I believe that it was Scopper the first time I saw that image with him and Crocus. So I called it.
That's fair. That's fair. But, all right. Thank you all for watching. This has been the Runaway Warlords with 1,139. Be sure to smash that like button. Anyone watching the VOD, be sure to leave comments. It really does help us out. And any thoughts on a potential stream? I don't know if we're going to do one next week, just because, hey, we'll see. But the lads and I will talk if we want to do a Warlord roundtable. Who is Thomas stronger than? Yeah, let's really set the internet ablaze. But okay, it sounds like the MVP is going to go to Scopper Gabon, aka Mr. Ya. And he does not, the community has spoken, he does not have a double force. But I am the Runaway Warlord of I am the DarkBriton of the Runaway Warlords. Wow. Thank you all for joining me. Always remember that anime is adulting. Stay reckless, Warlords. Peace.
Bye.